I'm gonna go ahead and kick this stream off. It breaks my heart to deliver some hard-hitting news. Today on July 22nd, 2025. As the super chat mentioned earlier, today's topic is a prime example of pride before the fall. When you do things that are ego-driven, that are not in the best interest of you, your employees, or your potential customers, ultimately, you have to eat the brunt of the fucking L. Today's story I want to open up for the podcast, or the stream, I mean. It breaks my heart to reveal to everybody that Splitgate 2, in less than a month of being out fully, has announced on their official social media account that they will be unlaunching the game and putting it back in beta. Which would make Splitgate 2 the multiverses of 2025. And here on this stream, I don't really do things based off my feelings. If I have an agenda to push, I will always state this is my personal agenda. But about 90% of the time when I talk about stories on this stream, it's based off data, statistics, facts, nigga. I don't care if it's your fucking feelings are hurt. If it's based off the data, what's facts is facts. And if we take a look at the data would suggest when companies take a multiplayer game that was in beta, release it fully, then put it back in beta, then bring it back out, that shit is gonna... So it breaks my heart that we have to announce today on July 22nd, 2025, that we've got a new game that is officially on Pack Watch. I don't care if I come across as a jackass. I don't care what this statement says, and we're gonna read it together. But I'm here to say it's about an 80% chance that this game is fucking dead. And before we read this terrible statement on social media about the state of the game, let me share what happened, guys, because everybody can learn from this. If you want to start a business, whether big or small, they say the customer's always right. And to a degree, that's true. You should be mindful of how what you do and what you say affects the corporation, because you have employees, you have mouths to feed. And with Splitgate 2, for those who didn't follow the story, during the launch of the game last month, the CEO stood on stage for Summer Games Fest and said, "Our game is not like every other game. It's better. It's better than the bullshit games like Call of Duty." He threw a bunch of game developers under the studio for no reason. Even if there's truth to what he said about the lack of creativity in FPSs, as the new kid on the block, it's a bad idea to shit on your peers because you just never know where you're gonna end up in life. Matter of fact, I got an email before this stream. This is a side note. I got an email before this stream for a new sponsorship potentially. And this dude said, "Hey, we worked together years ago on such and such, man. You're a good dude. I would love to present this new idea, this new brand deal. Possibly we could work together." You know why? Because I'm a stand-up nigga. When you do the right thing, when you do right by people, you work hard and you are well-mannered, you get repeat business. So that's the first strike. He stood on stage and he shat on his peers on the launch day of his game. A day that's supposed to be about celebrating your game. Celebrating what you have to offer to the community. And most importantly, celebrating the developers on your team that made this great game. Because to be fair, I played Splitgate 2. I'm gonna shit on this game, but I played this. And it is a good game. It was just lacking content at launch and the monetization was terrible. The second strike, on that same day, the CEO of Splitgate not only shat on his peers, after he shat on his peers for displaying a lack of creativity in the video game industry, he proceeds to say, oh, by the way, what we want to announce for the launch day of our game is we're adding a BR mode. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The mode that was popular in 2016, 17, 18, and probably peaked at about 19, Battle Royale, was the mind-blowing feature they were announcing at launch after shitting on his peers for not being innovative. That was strike number 2. Strike number 3. In the midst of displaying and letting go this terrible message, let me pull it up. This buffoon delivered this message of shitting on his peers on stage in front of millions, all while wearing a hat that said, "Make FPS great again." Now, I don't care where you stand on the political aisle, whether you're left, right, center, libertarian, whatever. I don't care. It's not about that. It's not about whether or not you feel people overreacted. The reality is, when your game launches, it's probably not the best idea to wear a political hat, even if you said it's just a meme, because it's a meme of something that represents something terrible to a certain group of people. So the day your game launched on social media, half the internet was pissed off at you because they don't like that hat is representing what they perceive to be evil. I'm gonna be honest, I'm in that camp. Friendly reminder, your president, because he's not mine, there's a 99% chance that he is a fucking pedophile. I said what I said. So understand, when you stand on that stage to promote your video game, shitting on the competition, talking about how you're innovative when you weren't, you are wearing a hat that's supposed to be a parody of a man who will not release a group of files that will definitively prove he was on an island touching children. Nigga, it's some things that's just not fucking funny. Fuck the politics, whether you left, right, whatever. I think we can all agree. Fuck that weird Minecraft Roblox shit. And you know what they say? 3 strikes, you're... So with all these things happening during the launch of the game, unfortunately, there was a 4th strike, and it was the monetization. For the few people who did play the game, and it's a shame because the gameplay's actually good. Also, what sucked is the battle pass and the microtransactions. It was like $100. You guys claimed your game was innovative. You're doing stupid memes. You're shitting on your peers. You're pissing off half the political spectrum. And on top of that, you're charging hundreds of dollars on fucking stupid skins that nobody wants because this game had horrible skins. And what happened is, after about a month after launch, an article came out that Splitgate had lost about 80% of its player base. Let me see. Say, is that it? Yep, there it is right there. I'm glad I got this shit saved. Splitgate has lost 80% of its player base a month after launch. No! Imagine being a kid growing up who wanted to be a game developer all their life. You were made fun of. You were bullied. They spat on you at the fucking lunch table. You said, I don't care. I'm a nerd. I'm going to school. I'm going to go to school. I'm going to DeVry University, nigga. You went to DeVry. You got your degree in game development and you finally break through in the industry. You thinking, oh man, let me work here a year or two. Then I'm going to step up to one of the big dogs. I'm going to get hired at Naughty Dog next. I'm gonna get hired at Bungie. I'm gonna get hired at EA something. Nigga, only to find out your resume was ruined by a guy who stood on stage and supports a fucking pedophile. Because they pulled, for those unaware, they also pulled up his old tweets, the CEO of Splitgate. They pulled up his old tweets. The nigga's a Trumper. He tried to say, oh, I wore the hat as a joke. It was just a meme. It was a parody. No, nigga. We got the receipts. You're a Trumper. So unfortunately, when you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. Let this be a lesson in business. If you want to sell a product, you need, for the sake of sustaining your business and maintaining your employees, to cast a wide enough net. If you're just going fishing with your son or your daughter, you and the kid can have a rod. That's cool. But when you run a fishing company, you need to throw a net. So it's best to not, what? Scare all the hoes. And off rip, at launch, you scared half the population away. We don't care if you think whether or not they're soft for being scared away. This is business, right? Facts over feelings, right? That's a fact, you broke bitches. And look at you now, 4 strikes later, on Twitter, begging, pleading, please come back. So that being said, I now present to you a dramatic reading of the Splitgate Twitter. I'm gonna change the song. Let's go Mass Effect, Leaving Earth. Let's do that, man. Yeah, let's go with this one. Which, by the way, side note, you know they really lost 80% of their player base. You know these niggas is broke. Before I go into this, I gotta get this joke off. I just realized this. You know these niggas is broke because they can't even afford a fucking check mark. The only reason we know this is the official account because it has almost 400,000 followers. These niggas are so broke. They said in order to make fucking payroll, we got to get rid of the check mark. Oh, Lord. All right, let's get into this. To the Splitgate community. We believe in Splitgate too. This game means everything to us. I think this was written by AI because these fucking dashes. I think this was written by AI, chat. The dashes are everywhere, actually. Did you write this, bro? Hold up. Hey, hold up. 1 second, y'all. There's a chance some of this was written by AI, chat. There's a chance some of this was written by AI. Anyways, we believe in Splitgate too. This game means everything to us. It's been our life for almost 10 years, starting in our dorm rooms. We're more committed than ever to delivering the experience you deserve. We've heard your feedback, and we agree with you. We launched too early. We had ambitious goals with Splitgate 2. And in our excitement to share it with you, we bit off more than we could chew. No accountability. That's not what happened, nigga. You guys are liars. We rushed certain features, made some boneheaded mistakes, and more importantly, we didn't give you the polished portal-filled mayhem you fell in love with. So we're going back to the beta. We'll be heads down until early next year, rebuilding major parts of the game to capture the spirit of what made Splitgate special. That means reworking progression from the ground up, adding more portals to our maps, simplifying monetization, refocusing on classic game modes you've been asking for, and more, which will share soon. Now more than ever, we need your help. Because we're poor. We're returning not just to our roots in what we build, but in how we build it with you. This ain't a us, nigga. This is a you problem. That means more playtests, more surveys, more listening, and truly being community first. Our goal is to combine the DNA of the first game with the best improvements from the second. Rebuilding the core experience isn't a quick fix. It's a long-term commitment. To give ourselves the time to build Splitgate the way you deserve, We've made the incredibly difficult decision to reduce certain roles and shift our resources to focus on this rework. I know this is heartbreaking. These are our teammates and our friends, and they helped us build what we have today. They're receiving a severance and job placement support, and we've committed to doing everything we can do to help them through this transition. We hope to bring them back when we can afford them because we're poor. And in an effort to retain as many team members as possible, we're also going to be shutting down the original Splitgate servers because we're poor. While we'd love to keep the servers online indefinitely, it's cost us hundreds of thousands of dollars over the past couple of years, and we have to prioritize the team. So not only are we shutting down the second game, but we're shutting down the first. In this statement, we stated we have no influx of cash, so we're gonna stop the one influx of cash, the first game, so we can stop the second one, which has no influx. This is crazy. Like us, we know this game means a lot to us, so many of you. So we're exploring the possibility of supporting offline or peer-to-peer matches. Prepare to get hacked. And when we return, we plan to have a dedicated experience in Splitgate 2 that delivers on the promise of the original. In the meantime, in between time, Splitgate 2 will remain playable, and we'll still be shipping Chapter 3, as well as fixes and high priority changes. We hope you continue to play and support the game. As always, please keep the feedback coming. We faced a lot of dark days and we've made many mistakes, but we've learned a lot, and we're determined as ever to make Splitgate as great as possible. Splitgate has been our lives for 10 fucking years, and we wouldn't have it any other way. But understand that we've got work to do, but we aren't giving up. We love this game. We love this community too much to ever quit, so we will never quit. I'll see you niggas in the arena. Signing off, Ian and Nicholas. I swear to God, the music didn't end. I didn't design it for this to go away. It just perfectly ended that way. And to that I say, before we wrap this up, as I stated earlier, I hope this is a lesson in business about how to conduct business and behave yourself. The thing you have to understand, Splitgate, is there's so many games coming out. I mean, Wu-Chang comes out this week. Ghost of Yote comes out pretty soon. You got Borderlands 4. Some people are looking forward to NBA 2K26. There's a lot of games coming out. I still haven't finished Assassin's Creed. It just never fucking ends because of Ubisoft. I still haven't finished Expedition 33. I mean, I'll be honest, I still haven't finished Night Rain. You got Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4. You got games coming out. You got the beta for 2XKO. We're gonna talk about that later. Shit, it's right here. They announced that. That's coming. You got the Marvel Token beta coming, I believe. It's just too much. So you have to understand, dear game developers, when you make a game, what Eminem say? You only get one shot. You better fucking swing and not miss. And y'all niggas missed. And when I say y'all missed, I'm talking about these niggas swung the bat so hard, they did a 360. Fucking caused a tornado, threw their damn shoulder out. And now you're poor. You're fucking poor. And don't say you're not. You're laying people off and you can't even afford a check mark. This shit is like $10 a month. You guys are poor. So I'm here to say, I'm not saying, because we've seen turnarounds. We have seen it. We've seen it with Cyberpunk. We've seen it with No Man's Sky. But I'm here to let you know, you niggas is not Cyberpunk 2077. Cyberpunk had a solid foundation. It was just rocky with the optimization. Hell, you guys are not even No Man's Sky. Because at least with No Man's Sky, they did something original. I'm not into the survival games, but they did something original with the generated worlds. Everybody's playthrough is different. They kept fixing it. You guys are just a copy of Halo with portals. So I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm about 80% sure this game's DOA. Let this be a lesson. Don't be a dick. Matter of fact, don't, no, that's not my final statement. Let me rephrase that. I think the lesson we can all can understand from this is, where's the picture? Make FPS great again. I think what we can all learn from this lesson is, when it comes to revealing your game, don't stand on stage and shit on your peers. Don't shit on things that you're not even capable of doing yourself. Don't make goofy political statements. What I'm trying to get at is, don't stand on stage and present your game to the world and act like a fucking pussy. Because you can't present yourself to the world as a pussy if you're not prepared to get fucked. And you got fucked by yourself. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and say, everybody bow their heads. Moment of silence for Splitgate 2. Matter of fact, game developers, open up a portal. Doctor Strange, open a portal. Doctor Strange, open a portal. That portal you guys created for the game, and we're gonna throw it in there, and we're gonna pretend like this game didn't exist. Amen. I hope we could all learn something from this, because this is just sad. Sad, because the unfortunate thing I'm gonna say about this before we wrap this up is, I can't stress enough. One thing I'm not gonna do, don't get me wrong, I'm gonna get my fucking jokes off. But one thing I'm not gonna do is I'm not gonna act like this was the worst game I ever played. There is a solid foundation here in terms of gameplay. Just literally everything else about the fucking game, the way they presented it, the way they talked about their peers, the way the monetization was done, the political statements, everything else about this game, fucked up. I'm not gonna lie, if there's a board of directors on the Splitgate team, you guys need to fire the CEO. That's the real solution, not this fucking, if you want to get back in the graces and because you need good PR, I would have fired the CEO. Or if I was the CEO, I would have stepped down. Because at the end of the day, I can't stress enough. I know I'm not trying to be facetious when I say, bro, this game was actually fired. The movement was firing it. I can't stress this enough. They are financially struggling, and I could tell because the account doesn't have a fucking check mark. No funny shit. So what did we learn today, guys? What did we learn today? Being a fucking dick. Being a fucking dick. It doesn't work unless you're actually funny. I'm funny. I think that's the problem with the internet, and I've talked about this on stream plenty of times. The problem with the internet is, a lot of people will go and steal jokes off of Instagram and Twitter, and then they'll repost it, and they'll get a bunch of retweets, and it inflates people's egos, and then what happens is people think they're actually funny, and what he tried to do is get on stage and be funny, and like, no, that's not your lane. Because me, I'm as someone who's like a student of the game, I'm a proponent of everything could be fucking funny. But if you are gonna take the edgelord route, you're gonna start making race jokes and stuff like that, you better stick that fucking landing. You're gonna make political jokes, you better stick that fucking landing. If you're gonna do dark humor, you better stick that fucking landing. You need to really work on refining the jokes. And it was like a college frat boy who thinks they're fucking funny, hopping on stage, failing to realize like, yo, you're representing your business. And unfortunately you failed. And also what's unfortunate, because like I said, they pulled up some old tweets of the CEO and he's a Trumper. He's probably, I'm gonna go ahead and make a new prediction before we move on. They pulled up the CEO of Splitgate's old tweets and they found out he was a little Trumper. He was a little MAGA. If this game doesn't rebound, which I'm pretty sure it won't, if this game will continue to fail and they're gonna have to shut down the servers, don't be surprised the CEO hops on Twitter and blames DEI, black people, shit, gay people too. Any type of minority, brown group, they'll probably start blaming DEI as the reason that the game failed. They're like, nigga, no, you failed because you're a fucking idiot. All right, man. Let me turn my beats up. Moving on. I just had to get into character, working on my voice acting, you know what I'm saying? Really just trying to sell the story and shit like that. Where other stream do you get this from, man? What other stream you get there, man? Fuck Splitgate. In other news, more positive news, we got some updates in regards to 2XKO. They announced a new character as well as a beta is coming. RIP to Malcolm Jamal Warner. Facts. RIP to Theo, Big Theo. He was a legend. As well as I used to love the show Malcolm and Eddie. People always refer to him as Theo, but because I mean that's his biggest role. But I used to love Malcolm and Eddie in the 90s. RIP. RIP to Ozzy. I can't name an Ozzy Osbourne song, but RIP. I knew him from the reality show. Don't judge me. All right, let's check out this new character. But can this game regain momentum for Marvel Token? Hit the like button, YouTube.
Let's go. What do you got? I'm not done with you.
I feel like I've seen this character. She's pretty popular in League, right? I feel like I've seen her before. The big fist I recognize. That's V. That's how you say her name? From Arcane? Type shit. She throwing them hands. That's my type of character. She looks kind of like my speed because she's just throwing hands. I like characters where they throw hands and shit like that. Shout out to RNO with the $20 super chat. He said, hi, Twitch chat. I have the alerts off when I was talking. I would personally like to send a cease and desist on the band war. This is not a retreat, but merely a decree for peace for two sides of the same coin. We will now be donating strictly for the favor of the Hokage salute. He says, ceasefire on the band war. And then shout out to, let me turn the shit back on so you can hear it.
Thanks for the super chat.
To celebrate
your donation will be used responsibly to pay off the Gotham PD.
Now it's going
the other way.
Now it's going to read.
I don't know why I locked away. I mean, trained 4 little boys in the Batcave.
Every time someone donates a super chat, I'm going to Snapchat Sonic my intrusive thoughts.
There we go. Shout out to a day with the $5 super chat. He said instead of having substantial marketing to gain a stable player base, they spent millions on big streamers, and once that ended, the game died. Yeah, I feel like that's a strategy because he's talking about Splitgate 2. The reports came out they spent $400,000 on marketing Splitgate 2, but they use streamers instead of proper marketing like YouTube, television, ads on Facebook and stuff like that. And I think it's true because I mean I got paid to promote the game, and y'all see. I hope y'all see. Ain't nothing fraudulent about me. I'll take a check and slander you niggas just for those. Just to be transparent. I got paid by them too. I'ma still slander you because you sponsored me for 2 hours, not for the rest of my life, nigga. Yeah, I feel like that strategy of paying big streamers just to play the game, it just doesn't work. I feel like it only works when you pay people who are genuinely interested in a product. But like, I feel like where they go about it wrong, I think it works for me because I was interested in the game. Where they go about it wrong is like, they'll go to like a World of Warcraft streamer and they'll be like, hey, play our game. Like they don't even play FPS. So you got to target the correct audience because if somebody streams World of Warcraft primarily, that means their audience is mainly into World of Warcraft. So if they do a FPS stream, they're not going to be into it. I can get away with playing everything because I literally play everything on my stream. And I think most of you guys are versatile gamers. So like, that's where I would consult these companies as a PR person and be like, yeah, you guys need to be a little bit more. I think it'd be better to pay a streamer who only averages 100 to 200 viewers, but they specialize in, let's say, like fighting games, and pay them to promote this game versus going to a guy who only plays first-person shooters and telling him to promote it. It just doesn't make sense. I don't know why they do that shit, bro. Target your demo. Because me personally, if somebody only averages 200 viewers and you convert 100 of them to play this fighting game, that's better than an FPS person who averages thousands and can't even convert 50 people to play your game. Sometimes numbers do lie. Sometimes you can see if a streamer isn't filming the game, they're advertising. I try to stay away from stuff that I'm not like genuine. My rule personally, I can't speak for everybody else, but my rule personally is I have to already be halfway interested in a game. I'm not. There's so many like mobile games I've been offered, and mobile games pay them a lot. That like I just turn down because like unless I'm personally interested in that mobile game, nah. Like I got to be halfway interested because like 2 hours can be a really long time if you don't like the fucking game. Because that's the standard to usually do a 1 hour, 2 hour stream. It's them checks, man, that money. I'm not gonna lie, she kind of looked like my speed. I love boxing characters.
Lose the back just up the prices on her OnlyFans. The fuck I'm supposed to do with this?
Yo, shout out to Mr. Nachos with the sub, appreciate it. Damn, you don't fuck with Raid Shadow Legends? No. But I mean, I did do a stream on Persona Phantom X, which is a mobile/PC game. I play the PC version, but I took that sponsorship because I was interested in Persona. I've talked about it on my stream. I never played it, but I knew I liked the music. I like Metaphor ReFantazio. So like I'm adjacent to it. It's not me being fake about that. I was like, oh, I'll try it out. Y'all paying me? Sure, why not? But like somebody who's never played a fucking JRPG, it doesn't make any sense for them to take that sponsorship. Yo.
Thanks for the bits. As a token of my appreciation, here's a bit for you. If you're a person of color and voted for Trump, that's like chickens being for KFC.
Yo, shout out to C-Biz with the big donation on the bits. I appreciate it. You never watched Arcane? I've only seen the first episode and I just never got around to watching it. The first 2 episodes and I never got around to watching it again. I was actually at the premiere.
You can only afford to donate.
I went to the red carpet. I just forgot to watch it again. I'll watch it one day. Oh my God, here we go.
To the broke boy in the chat.
I liked what I watched though.
Fear toxin has shown us that you aren't scared to drop a bag on the stream. And if you really want to prove you're not a bitch, you do it again.
Shout out to Mexican Hustler and shout out to Del6 with the gifted subs. Appreciate you. Let's hit that sub goal. Let's hit that sub goal. They said, the Twitch chat said that there's no peace. It is a war. We going ban for ban. Ban War 2. Next. Here's some gameplay changes that we've made based on the Alpha Lab feedback. The beta will start September 9th. Before I play this, I gotta cut the air on. I'm hot. All that shouting made me hot.
You should be locked up in Arkham for the filthy number of subs you just dropped. Only a crazy person would spend so much money on a streamer.
Okay. Let's get it. I'm a hustler, babe. Am I going to see Fantastic Four? I don't know if I'm seeing it this weekend. I gotta ask to see what's going on. Okay. I'm a hustler, babe.
This coming to 2x KO. To make timeouts.
There's a Steam sale on all Persona games. 5 is even $20. I'm not buying it. I spent too much money this last month. I've been spending money on my investment portfolios. I've spent too much money this week. Can we find a YouTube version? Because this shit is not it. I would like to buy it, but maybe next sale. Like I said, I got a budget. I'm a hustler, baby.
Appreciate the bits, my nigga. I'm gonna use every bit of this.
Nah, it's not on YouTube. Interesting.
Eventually, one of these hoes will be bit by hedgehog fever and attempt to.
Yo, shout out to Booty Scratcher with the bits. I appreciate you.
I'ma let 'em.
It's less frequent. You will start with 1 bar super meter each round, and you now only start with 75% break meter. In addition, you'll no longer receive bonus.
What investment apps do you suggest for beginners? This is not financial advice. I'm just telling you what I use. I have a Fidelity account and then I have a Robinhood account as well. I have multiple portfolios. And then for crypto, I use Coinbase. Although I'm thinking about switching to Kraken because I've done my research. Apparently their fees are lower, so you can get more for your dollar. But look into the pros and cons of each exchange. Ultimately, it doesn't really matter that much. The most important thing is educating yourself on what companies do. No, not Kraken. Kraken is actually pretty good. Yeah, I use Coinbase and I did the research last night and I found out the fees are lower, so.
Hey, Sonic, if you're watching this stream, just know
not fucking crack, guys.
that means you have to answer my FaceTime call.
Quasi-conspiracy spreading illiterate smut.
Yo, shout out to Mando with the sub. I appreciate it. And then shout out to PJ with the $20 super chat. He said, did I hear somebody say ban for ban? Going crazy.
We've also reduced max gray health.
I switched to Weeble, but I want to go back to Robinhood now. What makes you want to go back?
Next up, defense nerfs. Rolls can now be thrown. and backdashing has been nerfed across the board.
They said you gotta fight.
Jump now has more startup to lower the power of jump blocking. Push block now
I fuck with Kraken. The only thing I like more about Coinbase is the layout. I feel that.
one champion instead of both of them. And we've reduced the distance on retreating guard.
Remember someone thanking you to put you on the... Oh yeah, I have an Acorns portfolio too. Yeah, I use Acorns. What is it good for? It's auto investing. It's like a beginner investing app. Basically, anytime you connect all your bank cards, your debit and credit cards, and anytime you spend money, the spare change, it'll invest it in ETFs, electronic trade funds. Basically, Fortune 500 companies, very safe stuff. It's like another bank account to grow really slow. So if you spend $4.95, it'll round it up to $5 and it'll invest 5 cents for you, basically.
To encourage,
I've only ever made money on it, so it's super easy to safe to
Meter
use.
will no longer carry
Not financial advice.
but Break Meter will.
Why did they upload the video like
Lasts
this?
longer on average, does more damage, and grants all of your attacks chip damage. But your opponent can now punish your defensive Fury activation by blocking it. Finally, Hard Knockdown no longer results from hit reactions, which now grant bonus damage, Super Meter, and Break Meter.
Your
Air
reset
throw
is cool,
and forward
but
throw
honestly,
will
there's
now
only
result
one
in Hard Knockdown.
ideology I
Check back for more
resubscribe to,
details
and
before
that's
closed
Sonic's
beta. Till then,
BBC.
we'll see.
Shout out to Jace with the sub, appreciate it. Interesting. And it comes out September 9th for the beta. They put a lot of betas out. I'm worried they're gonna kill their own momentum because, like, at this point, like, come on, guys, you got to get more characters. Put the game out, bro. Put the goddamn game out. Because in regards to other fighting games, also announced today is Marvel Token Fighting Souls will be playable at EVO on August 1st. So if you plan on going to EVO, 6 characters will be playable there. They will have cabinets there for you to try the game out. So yeah, if you're going to be in Vegas, it's gonna be hot as hell. But yeah, the Robin Hood GameStop situation is what made me quit. All you was trying to get it on the stonks, trying to short. I feel that. It's just good for like beginners, but eventually you should probably graduate to because things like Fidelity and Charles Schwab, they have actual customer support. Robinhood is nice for like convenience as well as like Webull. And then last but not least for this batch of articles, what I wanted to bring up is, ladies and gentlemen, IGN has presented us another 7 out of 10 too much water quote. Shout out to Prime with the sub, appreciate it. In their review of the Fantastic Four, they gave it a 7 out of 10, and they said that this film tries too much to be a superhero movie. 7 out of 10. IGN does it again, ladies and gentlemen. The beta is going to stay up forever, they said, and updated over time. Oh, until full release? Okay. Bet. So yeah, they said that it's just okay because it tries too hard to be a superhero movie. I don't know what the fuck that means. I'm gonna go watch it for myself. The Rotten Tomatoes, I believe it's sitting at an 80 something. Most people like it. Let me see. Because the Rotten Tomatoes came out. Yeah, it's sitting at an 86 Rotten Tomatoes. So like, yeah, it's getting good reviews. Some reviews I watched and read, they said that the action could be better, but the actual storytelling and the acting is good, which is unfortunate. And it's weird too, because that's in contrast to what they said about it tries too hard to be a superhero movie. Like, what do you mean if there's not a lot of action? IGN's trying too hard to be different, trying too hard. Pedro's having a little era. Yeah, he literally has like 3 movies out right now at once, bro. This nigga's in everything. When the Hollywood It Boy.